I think people should read, and I'm not talking about blogs. Read and get educated so you know all of the positions you need to take in the world so you can make good decisions. There's a lot of things going on in the world right now, and you need to be educated about what's right and wrong.
Yeah, it's well said.
Hello up there. It's Brad J. Lamb. You too can become a condo millionaire. The Todd Shapiro Show. Canada Laughs. SiriusXM 168.
All right, here we go. How you doing, Brad?
This is a day I'd say I'm not doing that great.
Oh, shit. Why not?
Tough day.
Tough. What happened?
Tough work day.
Really?
Yeah.
I had a tough work day, too.
Did you?
Yeah, I consulted for someone who's not paying me money.
Oh.
It pissed me off. I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have that problem all the time.
See, everyone in business, I'm learning in business that is a big part. You have to forecast for that moving forward in business.
Yeah, you're constantly struggling. And by the way, I'm sure we employ a lot of people, probably 2,000 people, and they're always complaining that they don't get paid on time from me, like that I'm not paying them on time. So it's a circle.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So we don't get the money when we should get it, and they don't get the money when they expect it, and everyone wants their money in like net 30 days from the time of billing. They want it in 30 days, and it stretches out. It gets to 60, 90, sometimes 120.
What is it like after 120? Do you kind of go, okay, that's it? Like there's no more?
No. No. If I'm trying to collect,
yeah.
No. We continue. You continually try to collect your money, and most people do pay. Most people do pay eventually. We always pay. Sometimes if someone's done a particularly bad job for me, maybe the kitchen installer was late installing kitchens, and we got screamed at by buyers, and maybe they were scratched a bit when they put them in. We got screamed at by buyers. Eventually it gets fixed, but it wrecks your reputation. Sometimes we'll say, listen, you did a shitty job, so we're giving you a 5 or 6% haircut on your contract. You're not going to make a lot of money this time because you wrecked our reputation.
Yeah, it's interesting learning about business because there's a lot of that I do. Young entrepreneurs, they probably never do they teach that stuff in school to be prepared for that?
No. I think things like engineering school and business school. I think medicine's different. I think you actually learn. I think you learn a lot in medicine. Not that you don't learn a lot in the other things, but in engineering you learn the basics of science, engineering, and physics, et cetera. But you don't always know exactly how to use it till you get out there, and you really need to work at it for years. But in terms of business, when you come out with a business degree, you know jack shit. Nothing. Nothing prepares you for the real world in business. And some of the best business people are people who have no training at all. They just picked it up after 20 or 30 years, and they're the most vicious, difficult people to do business with, which in the end sometimes makes them the best. Not always. Sometimes it does.
Being ruthless in business can make you the best.
Well, it can make you. So it depends on what kind of business you're in, but it can make it can. I'm not sure if you measure money by success. I think that yes, I think that can make you more money than someone who's more fair. And people would argue that if you're more fair, you get repeat customers. But at the end of the day, business is really about money and low bids. Low qualifying bids. And so I find that the people that sometimes are the biggest and the best are the ones that squeeze the dollar the most everywhere.
Like, is negotiating, do you get a rush from that, like the negotiating part of it, or is it stressful?
It's tiresome.
It is.
It is tiresome. What I'd really like is people to do what they say they're going to do. I'll do what I say I'm going to do, and I'd like people to close their condos on time without bitching about things and without being small-minded about little deficiencies, which always get fixed. We're bound to fix them, but it doesn't work that way. It's just sometimes when you run a business like I run, it gets you down. Sometimes it just grinds in you, for sure.
You should just give up.
I'll be like, yeah. So honestly, I think about giving up all the time.
I don't know. I told you this probably 4 months ago. I think I told you, like, if someone gave me $8 million, I would just do nothing. Like, that would be enough for me. I would live off that, even if it's 5 to 7%, and just live a modest lifestyle. And I think you said to me I wouldn't be able to, but I feel like, I don't know, it's a lot.
No, I think you could. At $8 million, if you we're able to earn, I think 5% returns easily achievable without doing a ton of work, right? So that's $400,000 a year, and then you could pay your, I don't know, $200,000 in tax. You could live on that for sure.
Why not? It'd be a great life.
You could, yep.
And just do nothing though.
Yeah.
Just be a good dad. I want to be a good dad. Like that's the other thing. Like you have a young daughter. I just love spending the time with my son. They get old quick, don't they?
You know what? I love spending time with my daughter, and it's I never even dreamed it would be as cool as it is. Like I just didn't know, and because the other people's kids annoy you.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? They just do. And so being around my daughter, sometimes though I need a break. So it's good to be able to get away to go to work and go, hey, I'm going to work now, and because I'm not with my wife, we're divorcing. If you're married and you're with your kid can play in this happy household, and it's okay. Like they can play by themselves. The kid's always there for you to go and say, hey, let's play and whatever. But when you only see your kid, maybe 40% of the time, I'm around my daughter every minute that she's with me. That 40% of the time, like every minute.
It's almost
every minute
better.
Well, it's better, but it is better. But it makes you always feel you're in some way inadequate because.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because I would like her to go play by herself. She doesn't want to because she doesn't see me enough, and then I don't really want her because I want her to because I want to see her more. But then sometimes it's a lot, because you never get a break. You watch the same shows 5-6 days in a row, the same movie. Like I've watched Storks. It's come out and I took her to the movie theater and she walked out in 10 minutes and said, Dad, I don't like it. I'm like, no, she wanted to leave. So now Storks is out, on Apple TV. And we've watched it 25 times in 2 weeks. I've watched it 2 times a day sometimes. I'm like, oh, please, I love Storks, but enough.
Do you put the phone down when you do it too?
I don't make phone calls when I'm around her at home because she doesn't like it.
Oh, that's
she wants my attention, which is maybe it's too self-indulgent. I don't know, but it's just it's easier to text and not to have her say, "Daddy, who are you talking to, or what are you doing?"
No, I listen. I find that, and my kid's only 16 months. Like they start to cry and whine a bit. At least for mine at his age, where they want your attention, and then you can kind of get in the text. You can do some business when they're focused on the TV or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, it's an interesting balance. One of my friends said to me recently, actually, our buddy Tom from Easy Nuts said the best time he has with his kids is in the car. Like you actually have that's great quality time. Like he loves going for long rides with his kids in the car.
Yeah.
So,
but I think they have to be a bit older because even my daughter is 4. She's starting to be interesting and ask me really probing, why are you doing that type stuff, right? I've only noticed it the last 6 months. Why, Daddy? Why you do that? And I'm like, well, trying to explain it to a 4-year-old, it's way over their head, right? But I'm only noticing now when I drive with her that she actually is mentally developed enough to ask those questions and be interesting when I'm driving her. Otherwise, she just listens to music and dances.
I see. Yeah, you have the conversations. Yeah. Let's talk a little real estate and some news going on. The Royal Bank of Canada just announced that Toronto is the least affordable housing market in Canada, eclipsing Vancouver. This is due primarily to the lack of detached housing. You've mentioned this many times before. Any new thoughts on this issue?
No.
No, it's same.
No, I mean, Toronto is only going to get more expensive, and you can cry about it, but it's just there's no. It's part and parcel of becoming a great world city. People in London cry about it. People in Paris cry about it. People in New York City cry about it. People in, Beverly Hills and Hollywood cry about it because they want to live in a nice neighborhood and they can't. It's what happens, and it's unfortunate. There's no solution to it in our kind of world. So move out of Toronto and move to Hamilton, or move to the outskirts, or borrow money from parents. I mean, there's no easy solution for it. It is what it is. It's frustrating. I wish more people listened to me over the last 15 years, where every year I'd say the same fucking thing over and over again. And, no, the market's going to crash. I'm like, no, it's not going to crash. And who cares if it does? Buy something, live in it, you can afford it. Ride out the crash. But people just want to believe. It's so far easier to believe in negative people than in positive people.
Trust
far
me.
easier.
My biggest mistake is I've listened to negative people most of my life. Only in the last sort of 4 or 5 years did I start to try and follow a positive path. And it's like you start to shake your head as to why we're conditioned that way. Most of us. It's sad.
It's
actually.
easy because it means you do nothing. And if you have to make a decision that's uncomfortable, we as humans don't want to do that. So doing nothing is actually being negative. Not changing your situation is doing nothing, and that's being negative.
Yeah, I always hear about detached homes. What about, like, if you're in a semi-detached? Is that still good to like?
Anything I would say that's freehold, where it's a house that's attached to the ground, and you have title, freehold, or a freehold, which would be a semi, a row house, or a detached house. Those things are going to be, well, they already, I think, are out of reach of most people, but they're going to be wildly out of reach. I'll tell you this, a detached house in the beach will be currently trading, say, at 2.2 for a detached house, 30-foot lot. That will be $5 million in 15 years.
Wow.
$5 million.
That's a good investment.
The best investment you'll ever find.
Go. You heard that from Brad J. Lamb, and we'll know him in 15 years. We're going to call him on it. Okay.
I'll still be mucking away, even though I don't need to and I don't want to. I'm still going to be here. Believe me. Yeah.
Like right here on the show?
No, I won't be on this show. But I will be in Toronto working still.
U.S. home sales resales reached their highest level in nearly 10 years. I think that's good news. Will this continue to trend?
Yeah. So the market in the States has not run like Canada's has, primarily because the recession, this great recession they call it, really was American. I would say the weaker states in the Europe Union. So England didn't suffer terribly. Ireland did, but it's rebounded. But places like Italy and Greece and Spain and Portugal, and of course the sort of have not new ones, Hungary and all that, they got hammered. But the United States was the worst of the great countries, the 5 or 6 great countries. Like Australia didn't really get affected badly. And so the United States really caved. I mean, housing prices went from, like I'm not saying in New York City. New York City had a bounce of like maybe 35%, but there are places where houses went down below half. In many places in the United States, weaker markets.
Like Florida and stuff, right?
Parts of Florida, parts of Arizona, parts of Texas, parts of California, lots of, in the inner states like Michigan, Ohio got hammered. And now, like if Detroit, I've been saying Detroit was the best place in the planet to buy real estate for years. And I did buy a bunch of, not as much as I wanted commercial stuff, but a high-rise office building, Detroit, in 2009. I'm talking a building that was like 35 stories, built in the 20s or 30s, so Art Deco. Sold for $1.5 million. That building in Toronto was sold for $400 million, $500 million. Today, maybe $1 billion. But those are now selling in the $30-40 million range. And the guy who owns Quicken Loans, his name's Dan Gilbert. He owns the Cleveland Cavaliers as well. And Dan Gilbert took a huge risk and bought up most of downtown Detroit from 2009 to 2014. He still might be buying. And he bought, I'm going to say, over 100 office properties. Wow. And he has probably 5 times his purchase price, but I bet you he's made 30 times his invested money. He probably made $1 billion. He probably made over $1 billion. I think he was worth around $2 billion at the time of all this, the start of it. He's probably made $1 billion in Detroit alone, and I'll bet you he was active in Cleveland as well. I don't know that for sure. I know for sure he's active in Detroit, the most active buyer in Detroit. But I don't know about whether he's active in Cleveland. But if he was, Cleveland's turned around too.
Yeah, Cleveland.
Is this kind of where sneak into Hamilton a little bit? Like I've always been saying, sneak into Hamilton if you can.
Hamilton is the Pittsburgh of. I liken it to Pittsburgh. It's 500,000 people. It's on the lake. Pittsburgh's not on a lake, but it's in the Tri River, where the 3 rivers meet. But it's a steel town that failed as a steel town and refound its bearing. And that's what Hamilton's doing. It's still steel town, but it's refound itself. There's lots of new technology there. There's a lot of great things happening in Hamilton. Hamilton is the best place for young people to buy homes right now, and it will not last. In 2 or 3 years, they'll be priced out of Hamilton as well.
Good to know. On the West Coast, British Columbia has announced they will start offering interest-free loans to help first-time home buyers with their down payments in a market which is skyrocketing, that is, and made it very unaffordable for a lot of people. Will this new program actually help, and what do you think the requirements for qualification should be?
Well, I don't think any government should do that. I mean, it's asinine. So,
are they backpedaling here?
Well, yeah, of course they are. So if you bought a year ago as a first-time buyer and you didn't get it, that's not fair.
Oh, that's right.
Like, so everyone in the history of time that struggled to buy a home in Vancouver is shut out of that, and now it's just everyone now that gets to use. It's terrible. It's a terrible idea. Giving people money, giving people a down payment to buy a home, bad idea. Very bad idea.
What about if they said we'll give everybody a down payment on their next home?
Why don't we give everybody a free education and free food? Why not free cars, free vacations to Florida? This is crazy. We can't give people free money to buy homes.
So it's just them basically saying, hey, we put a new tax for foreign investment, pissed a lot of people off, but now we're going to make the sort of the rest of civilization here appreciate what we're doing, because we're going to use some of this money and give it back to them to make it more affordable, which has been tough for the business side of things, quite frankly.
I just think taking scarce tax money and then they're not giving money away. They're giving low interest loans to people that have to be paid back when they sell property. But and so they may see that as an investment of some kind. But I think that it's a very dangerous thing to start doing, and I'm not for it. I think that people should squirrel together a down payment on their own. I'm sure a lot of people disagree with me, but I think you got to do it yourself. I think there's other incentives, like I think things like maybe tax breaks for people that buy a home, maybe. Like property tax breaks, maybe income tax breaks, that kind of thing I can see. But just giving someone the money, I just can't get my head around why they're doing that.
Is it fair to say? And listen, I eat what I kill, basically, and I become a business person, and it's changed my attitude on a lot of things, because I got to work my butt off nonstop to make money. And when people are in business, the one common thread, whether you're worth $1 billion or even just worth a couple 100,000 or maybe even 20,000, if you work hard for that money, you appreciate the money, you appreciate the hard work for it, and then when you see people are given it, you start. I don't think it's a wealth thing; it's a work ethic thing for me. And is that fair to say, your approach, where it's like you're just now giving people money? I work so hard for mine. No matter how much it is?
Yeah, it's part of that, but also, it's a strange favoritism. I understand that Vancouver's expensive, and I understand that it's tough for people to get their down payment together. But then, rather than do that, why don't you just let first-time buyers in Vancouver buy with a 0% down?
I see.
Like, just rather than raise this tax money, which they're taxing people, raising money, and then being stupid governments throwing it away. Why don't they just let them buy with 0%?
So you get a home for $700,000, or you just take a $700,000 mortgage type of thing.
Yeah, and then give them maybe on the first $50,000 of the mortgage, give them a write-off for 2 years on their taxes, so they can reduce their taxes and something like that. It's just, to me.
Would Toronto ever do that, or Ontario?
I don't know.
You wouldn't put it past them?
The more left the government, the more likely you're going to get that kind of activity.
I see. The Toronto Real Estate Board confirmed that over the first 2 weeks of December, there were 3,196 sales. That's a 17.8% increase from just 2713 the year before. Typically, the market slows down during the holiday season. Doesn't seem to be the case. What's going on?
Well, what's going on is there's nothing for sale, and there's still huge demand. Interest rates are low, and this is the thing. You read about negative people talking in the newspaper, radio, television, that the Toronto real estate market's going to crash next year. It's asinine. It's like, this is the worst month every year the worst month is December, and this is going to be probably similar to a October of a typical year. That's how strong the market is, and the problem is that there's nothing for sale. So last year at this time, there were. I look at the condo market more closely than anything else because it's the market that's the going to be the canary in the coal mine, right?
What does that mean?
First one to fail will be the condo market because we can add supply. So that's the one that'll slow down first. And so, last year at this time, there were 1,800 properties for sale, condos in the central core on MLS. This year, there's 900, half. Now, last year was a record year. So we set up ourselves at 1,800 units in January for sale, and it was a record year. So what's going to happen this year with 900 for sale? It's going to be crazy. The price increases this year over the 2017 price increases will make, I think, 2016 price increases look small. So I think more money will be made this year than any year to date in terms of increases of prices. And there's nothing the government can do about it unless they cock the entire economy up.
JJ, you seem so intrigued, like you want to jump in, or you're just sitting there. No,
I live in a building that I don't ever see open the view. Where Jarvis and Adelaide.
Yeah,
I live in that building. I never see open houses.
There's nothing for sale.
Nothing for sale.
Yeah, that's what it is. Nothing for sale. So I mean, if someone was considering maybe putting up for sale, but they're used to saying, "Hey, wait till the springtime," that's not the case. Like maybe just wait till Jan 1 now or whatever.
I would. I mean, it's not wise to put property up for sale in December. Although we've done a bunch and sold at record prices. The crazy thing is, there was a so on Sororan there was a building that was just completed. Sororan is in Roncy Village. It's
okay.
Do you know Sororan? It's
I do know. It starts where Dundas switches over there, right? Like,
well, if you zip along Queen Street, you have like Lansdowne. I think Sororan's after Lansdowne. It's one of those. And then Roncesvalles is one of the ones that are a few west. Anyway, it's a north-south. It stops at Dundas, I think. Anyway, right at the top of that, we did a bunch of buildings there. We did like Robert Watson Lofts. We did a conversion, loft conversion next to that, and then next to that, there was this guy that bought this lot and did a smallish, maybe 180, 170 building, and he was selling them for $450, $480. They were bargains, right? This building was just completed like maybe 5 months ago. Suites are reselling there for $830 a foot.
Wow!
So a guy who paid $450 foot's making almost $400 a foot on an 800 square foot apartment, or even a 500 square foot apartment. That's $200,000, and he put like $30,000 down. And these things are selling multiple offers. Like you can't, they come up for sale and they're gone, and that's. I mean, like a lot of people like that neighborhood because it's kind of, it's a bit like the junction-y kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
It's become a very popular neighborhood, but I couldn't give stuff away there 10 years ago.
Isn't that interesting?
No.
Now there's hipsters.
Lots of hipsters.
Yeah, lots of hipsters. Hey, most importantly, what do you drive in the winter? What are you driving?
I bought a Maserati Quadriporte. Yeah.
Hang on, Louis just lost it. Louis just shit his pants.
Really?
Louis actually just shit his pants.
Anyway, so that was like my winter car, and I'm not saying that.
What is it?
The reason I bought it.
I don't know what is it.
It's a 4-door like Maserati.
Okay.
So I bought
Louis, you
it.
love this car? Louis, you love.
It's one of the sexiest 4-door cars I've ever seen.
He's nervous even talking about it. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, for some reason I thought it was 4-wheel drive. I thought it was 4-wheel drive, and I was coming. Ryan, I was out with Ryan, and I'm like, "Did I buy a fucking 4-wheel drive car?" And he's like, "I don't know. Did you?" I'm like, "Why did I think it was 4-wheel drive? Because if it's not 4-wheel drive, it's completely useless."
Is it? Can we check it out? Do we know? Have you reconciled? It's
not 4-wheel drive. It's a rear wheel.
It's a rear wheel.
Yeah, I'm a fucking idiot.
Okay.
Honest to God, I gotta take it back.
That's unbelievable.
Is it 4-wheel drive?
No. Yeah, we're looking here. Well, don't type in 4-door. Just type in.
Yeah.
Balau. Anyway,
I took it. So
we're slipping. You got to go to I got a buddy, OK Tire. Drop him in there. Get you great snows.
If it's not a 4-wheel drive car, I got it because I have a kid.
To be safe.
Yes. For some reason, I was absolutely sure it was a 4-wheel drive car. I don't know how I.
How much does this car go for? You don't know.
It's a lot. Well, no, it's not like a Ferrari or anything, but it's a 4-wheel drive.
It's got to be 4-wheel drive.
It's cute. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be the quad, even the name itself. Or that could just be the doors.
Quadriporte is 4 doors.
Oh, that Porte doors. Yeah,
that's why.
That's. Can you just type in 4x4 or all wheel? Can you type in all wheel?
Or I could just call Maserati and ask them.
Yeah, we could do that.
Anyway,
This is a
it
good plug
just
from-
dawned on me because I took it out the other day, and I was moving along in the snow, and I'm like, this car's pretty good in the snow. And then it kind of, is it 4-wheel drive?
This is
If
hilarious.
it's rear-wheel drive, it's the worst.
You just might need winners. Because,
I don't know.
or maybe you don't know to put it. Maybe could you get? Is there like a switch? Oh, it is.
It's
It is.
four-wheel
Is
drive.
it?
All-wheel.
It's all wheel.
Oh, you go.
Okay.
All right. I'm not a total idiot. I didn't even read the brochure. That's how much of an idiot I am. Well,
You just
okay, car
assumed.
looks nice.
I love it. Do you like the car other than that? Is it a good car?
For a 4-wheel drive car, it's a sexy car. But
Yeah.
when you turn it on, it sounds like a race car.
Oh, is
Got
it
this
just
really
purrs?
crazy sound.
Oh, fuck, that's awesome. Can I borrow it for a date?
Yeah, that's nice.
Absolutely.
No
No,
Tesla
thanks.
ever?
I would get a Tesla, but I have too many cars, and I really don't need. I love that.
I love them. I love them.
So I would like. In fact, you know what I'm doing? I'm building a house. Well, I'm not building a house right now. I'm fighting the neighbors to get the permission to build a house, which is the story of my life. I'm always fighting neighbors about something, and they don't like my house. It's like a black Death Star.
Oh, yeah. It's
I
too
love it.
nice and will only increase the property value of everybody else's home around it.
and it's
but-
a bit large. But anyways, I'm getting a Tesla plug for that because I
that's so
think
sick.
I think not only I think Teslas are great cars, but I think there's going to be more amazing electric cars coming, and I think that I would.
Yeah, it's
for
like a big
sure.
mandate for Porsche and a lot
Yeah.
of these companies, definitely.
But it's still a bit of a problem. You know that when you go along the highway to Montreal and from Toronto, and they have all those Canadian Tire gas stations, they're all putting in Tesla charging stations.
Mm-hmm. wow.
Every one of them is, yeah.
So and Tesla's making more affordable cars.
They are.
So
yeah,
which is good, sort of entry level.
Yeah.
Wow, cool. Man,
such
time
amazing
flies. The New Year's, Brad. Listen, you're our man of wisdom. You're our dragon of the program. We say, Brad J. Lamb from TorontoCondos.com and Brad J. Lamb Realty. With 2017 coming upon us and this world being in it's a nuts world we live in. Do you have any words of wisdom, any advice from our friend and our mentor here?
Oh boy. I think there's so much that I think people should do, but ultimately I think that I think people should read, and I'm not talking about blogs. Read and get educated so you know all of the positions you need to take in the world, so you can make good decisions. There's a lot of things going on in the world right now, and you need to be educated about what's right and wrong.
Yeah, it's well said. It's. I forget how to read. No, I need to know. I want to read more. JJ, you're big.
Orwell. Honestly,
Fantastic
I just
stuff.
started reading.
But you're an Audible book guy. But that's
I'm
okay.
Audible, but I do also read. Like I'll have a book in the bathroom, and then I'll do the Audible. But I just got into I guess I read 1984 and
In high
Animal.
school, probably.
But I don't remember
Animal
it.
Farm, yeah.
Yeah, and Animal. I just got done Animal Farm. It was
How do
amazing.
you like pigs?
Yeah, yeah,
They're great, right?
It's great, but it's all these things that you learn in high school, all these allegories that really as adults we should be learning,
Yes.
and you don't realize that as a kid.
Because especially Animal Farm, it's happening today.
That's exactly what's
in
happening right now.
1984 is happening today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all happening. Orwell
And
was
you know what? I'm going to
genius.
tell you something. You say George Orwell to 125-year-olds, I'm going to bet you that 90 say who?
Wow.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. No, but I didn't know.
But they know
I
a
didn't
YouTube. But they know a YouTube star.
Yep.
Yeah, the guy that can jump from a roof and land on boxes. That guy.
Those guys are
super
fucked.
talented.
Those guys are fucked. I don't know. That might be a good publicity stunt, though, eh? We get some guys to freebase off some of
Actually,
your
I'll tell you
buildings.
something.
We should talk about viral stuff.
A guy that used to work for me.
Yeah.
His name is Roman Sidor. He used to jump from the top of a building into boxes. He was a stuntman. Yeah, I'm like, dude, there's better
No, we
ways
should
to
do some. We
advertise.
should do some Brad J. Lamb like viral. Pretend we don't know what happened, but it did. Like
Did I
we do.
die?
No. You don't.
You don't.
No, it's not you.
Someone
we got,
does.
like those like Russian kids where they go to like the edge.
Well, I can tell you something.
The parkours.
That guy, I was in my building, where I live, and I looked out the window and I saw this guy jumping. You know what he was jumping over, right? There was an open. They're like spans of concrete, precast concrete that loom over the street, and there was nothing between. So you'd have like a beam that was maybe 12 inches wide and then 8 feet apart. And he was jumping from 1 foot, like running across. Then he had a handstand on the end of it. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, holy fuck, I got to put my glasses on. So I put my glasses on so I can clearly see this guy. I'm like, what the fuck's this guy doing? He's going to die. So I called the police. I'm the reason why that guy got arrested.
Oh, no way.
I called the cops.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's crazy. I mean, he was right above the
You're
street.
scared for him.
I didn't know. Like now I know he probably would never fall. He's like a cat. But at the time I'm like, what the fuck is this crazy guy jumping? Because there was nothing between him and 40 stories below.
Yeah, no, I don't understand these guys.
There are tons of these guys. Dude, there's guys who are climbing the Eiffel Tower and they're sneaking in and they're taking pictures on Instagram of just with no harness, nothing. They're just going. It's the most. You don't have that with the cranes. Some of your cranes when you're building, people. Yeah, people just break in and then climb the top of the crane.
We had that in Calgary. We had to close the site down. He climbed up. He was crazy though, but we.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that fucking wild?
Yeah, there's these kids. Anything to get 100,000 hits.
Someone's going to fall, and then the people walking down get to see the pumpkin smash in the ground. That's not.
Oh, I know.
Great.
Or you can land on someone too.
Or you could kill somebody. Yeah,
no doubt. Brad J. Lamb, TorontoCondos.com.
That's the guy.
That's the guy.
This is the.
Oh, that's the other. Thanks again for being a big part of the show. Look forward to continuing in 2017. And make sure you guys hit up TorontoCondos.com to get to any one of their great realtors or look at all the beautiful Brad J. Lamb realty developments going on from anywhere from Calgary to Edmonton to Ottawa to right here in Toronto. Some beautiful ones.
The Todd Shapiro Show. Canada Laughs. SiriusXM 168. The Todd Shapiro Show.
Hey, thanks for watching that video. You can subscribe over there, or you can watch another video over here. And I think this is the Daniel Bryan yes chant. So what the hell? Yes, Todd Shapiro Show. Daniel Bryan can't wrestle anymore. It's a very sad story.